So here are the final directions for assignment number 3 on data journalism. So I'm going to show you how to do this with the Disciplinary Actions 2012, and then you're going to apply this to Disciplinary Actions 2013, taking a quick online quiz about the data that you've done and doing a Google Fusion map based on the top 10 schools, the top schools that have violations. So first thing we're going to do is, in this lesson, we're going to learn a couple of other Excel skills, and we're interrogating the data now. So one of the things I want to do is, first of all, I want to remind you that I have cleared out the rows that I don't need, and you can see prior videos to see how to do that. I'm also going to lock my frames in because I want to be able to navigate through this and not lose these top the top column here. So I'm going to the top row rather. So I'm locking that in so I can see it no matter how much I scroll back and forth. And then I'm going to begin to use some other totals here. So I would like to see how many violations altogether each school has had. So I'm going to put violation totals here, or actually I'll say total violations. So I'm going to go back into here, use my F2 to navigate back into the actual cell, and total violations. And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to plug in an equation. Now, what's so great about Excel is, as you know from some of the smaller assignments you've done, is that there are many ways to do anything in here. And if you're math phobic, like I generally tend to be, it handles so much for you. So we're going to use the equal sign like we always do, and we're going to use the word sum because we want to total up, or this, we want to add things together. And now we're going to do D2, that's the cell we're going to start with here. And we're going to put a colon because, not a sad face, we're going to put, whoops, D2 colon, because we're not just adding together two of these, we want to do a range. So we're going to go over here, actually stay in your correct cell and put DF, close the parentheses, and click enter. And obviously this adds up to 0. Now again, I just want to explain that I could have done, and I'll show you down here, I could have done in that cell, I could have put sum, and I could have put D2 plus F, or say E2. But again, that's not practical if you have a whole bunch of columns that you're trying to add up, not just two columns. So that's why we did the colon, because it represents a range. Now I can go back here and I can drag and drop this whole thing down, but I have a lot of rows here, so I don't want to have to scroll all the way to the bottom to have that equation apply to every other column here. So what I can do is get my little black cross and double click, and it's going to automatically fill everything all the way down to the bottom of my data set. And you can see that here. So that's great. Now I have the totals. See how this one, it adds up to 25 violations. Now this is telling me the totals for each campus, but what if I want to know what the totals are for an entire institution, not just their individual campuses? So one way I can do this is I can go over to data and I can go over to subtotal, and